What up YouTube, J-Dub here, and I have another video for you today. So, originally, this was going to be an install video, but I decided not to do an install video, and I'll explain. Today we're working on the Indian Challenger 2023, and I've already taken the fairing off. What we're doing is we are replacing the handlebars. Now, if you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know I put the extended reach by Indian handlebars on here, and they're just not working for me. So we're gonna try something else. So basically I bought a new set of handlebars. Okay, the reason I didn't do an install video on these is because of two reasons. A, I started shooting the video yesterday when me and my buddy Ryan were starting to work on the bike and getting the bars replaced, but it ended up being where we needed basically 4 hands to start doing stuff, and I've already shot a handlebar install video. So my Challenger, 2023 Challenger, has had the Indian reduced reach bars on it. They were powder coated by witch doctors because at the time of that purchase, Indian did not offer those handlebars in black, only chrome. But they are Indian bars, and basically the reduced reach bars give you 2 inches of pullback. So the 2 inches of pullback, while it was a huge improvement over the stock bars, and I just recently took a test ride on one of the new 2025 Indian Challengers with the 112, and I could not get over how bad the stock bars were. Like, I never realized until literally like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, man, how did I ever ride with these bars like this for a year? Crazy. So anyway, but I installed the Indian reduced reach bars because the mid-rise bars were too high for me. Now I should probably preface this by saying I'm 5'9". Okay, I'm 5'9". I'm not a super tall person, and the Challenger has a very long tank, kind of similar to the old Victory cross countries of old. They have very elongated tanks. So I needed something that brought the bars back so I wasn't leaning forward. I wanted some bend in my arms. But the other thing is, I kind of wanted my cake and eat it too. I needed pull back, but I also wanted to raise the bars up a little bit so my arms were up a little higher, more even with my shoulder blades. So that was the entire ordeal there. I wanted to get a new set of handlebars. My buddy Ryan and me, we took a trip down to West Virginia like 2 weeks ago, and it was so apparent. I'm like, 2 things need to happen to this bike this year. A, I need to figure out a handlebar situation because these bars are they're better than stock, but I need more. Maybe I'm greedy, but I needed the bars to be changed up a little bit so I could be more comfortable for longer rides. The other thing is, and this is coming soon, I'm going to need a seat. The stock seat, once again, as good as the stock seat on the Challenger is, once again, always room for improvement. I need a better seat. So we'll get into that discussion later. This is about handlebars. So, like I said, I was looking around for a set of handlebars. Now, I came across a YouTube video of a fella who, I wish I had his name on hand, I don't. He is a shorter person too. He's like 5'6", 5'7", something like that. And he had mentioned that he had reached out to KST Customs about a custom set of handlebars. And I was thinking, well, that would be kind of cool. What if I could talk to KST Customs and get a hybrid bar somewhere that meets in the middle of the reduced reach, but also with mid-rise tendencies. So I thought on that. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to call them and I'm going to explain to them what the situation is and I'm going to see what they recommend. Now, in the process of doing all that, I found that they make, I think, 2 or 3 different types of bars that I'm guessing they keep in their stock for the Challenger. One of which was their reduced reach bar. Now, their reduced reach bar came with 4 inches of pullback. That would have been a little bit much for me. I don't need 4 inches. More or less what I was figuring at was I could use somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5 inches of pullback, but I would like to have anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rise on like the mid-rise feature. So that's where I was at with it. So I called them up. They were wonderful to talk to. I explained to him exactly what bars I had on the bike, my height, what I was looking for, and he actually recommended to me that I should get the reduced reach bars that they have. He said that they have an incredible amount of adjustment. He's like, so you could probably place those bars exactly where you need them. So I was like, okay, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, you know what? And he was very, very upfront about it. He's like, look, I would totally try these bars, and if they don't work for you, return them, and we'll think of a different solution. Now, one of the cool things that I really like about their reduced reach bars, and I'm going to show you guys the handlebars in just a second. I'm just trying to get you where this journey came from, more or less, is that everything on it is like curved. Like they use mandrel bending and whatnot. I hate spiky bars. I'm sorry, it's not 2002 anymore. I don't know why people still put spiky bars on their bikes. I'm sorry. I think it looks absolutely awful. Do what you're going to do. Whatever. Not for me. I like the smooth, the bars being smooth and looking like they're from factory. Like I like that look. So their reduced reach bars are not spiky. They are bent and they're smooth and curved and they look really nice. So I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So I ordered them, obviously in black because I have a dark horse. The other nice thing is they offer you the option to have the bars pre-wired. Now, on these bars, it probably would not have been a big deal to go ahead and just change over the harness because, once again, it's got smooth curves on it. Really not hard to run wiring up through the bars. But I could totally see if you had like mitered bars or spiky bars, that would probably be a much nicer option to have them pre-wired because you don't have to mess with running wires. I went ahead and got them pre-wired just because I didn't want the headache of it. I did it once before on that installation video. And guys, I will link in the description my handlebar installation with those Indian reduced reach bars. If you're interested in how to do this, there's several videos online on how to do a handlebar install on an Indian Challenger. That was another reason why I decided to not make this into a install video. Now, I can go over real quick like the things you got to do, but I'm not actually going to show you the install. I just want to show you what these bars actually look like on the bike. And me being 5'9", how it looks. Okay, guys, so these are the bars. Definitely sticking up a little bit more than that of the reduced reach. And yes. You'll also notice that I put different grips on. The Avon air cushions, just the knurling on the rubber wasn't doing it for me. So I went with these memory foam grips from Avon. I think I'm going to like these a lot better. They do a lot to help with any kind of vibration dampening. Not that there's a lot of vibration on the Challenger or Indian motorcycles in general, but it was quite comfortable. So this was basically this past weekend's project that me and my buddy did. And once again, these are a lot. You can see where they sit now. They're not quite up here like the mid-rise bars are, which is fine because I didn't need them up that high, but they are in a really nice position. So I would argue that this probably comes back about 2.5 inches, and I have about 1.5 inches of rise on it compared to. Now, something that you have to be aware of when you're installing these bars is that these basically come straight out like this. So when you go to adjust them where you want them, as you set these down, if you need the full pullback, like closer to the tank, that's fine. But like the way your hand controls are going to be and everything are going to be a little bit different. This actually was very odd to me yesterday because my hand controls are like level with my eye line now. I'm not looking down at them anymore, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I had to adjust the mirrors because they're sitting up a lot higher. And like I said, I'll just show you where my positioning is on this bike. Okay, so basically, this is where my arms are being positioned now on the bike, guys. So as you can see, my arms are much more level with my shoulders, and I have some bend in my arms now. Okay, quite a bit more comfortable than what was on there before, which was much closer to about here. Okay, so there is definitely an improved difference between these KST Customs bars and those Indian pullback bars. So, like I said, I think it is a huge improvement over what the Indian ones offer. Like I said, saved me a lot of hassle of having to do like a custom bar order or something, which really I don't know how much more expensive that would have been. Didn't want to go to that route if I could help it. So, but like I said, I highly recommend these bars for somebody who is shorter, wants their arms to go up a little higher, but needs that pullback. The only thing is, once again, and I'm going to show you this, you got to be kind of careful when you mount this. So the reason being is, and once again, this goes back to the install video, but if you look in there, you'll see these, you'll see the clamps mount here. Okay. And those are the actual clamps that mount on the bars. And so you got to take these out on both sides. These bolts here out on both sides. They're 19s. They're kind of a pain to get to. We came up from the bottom with a long extension to get to it. You gotta move the tank back a little bit in order to be able to pull these out from underneath here. And basically you have to kind of guess where you want the adjustment to be on these before you go and mount them back under. Because those clamp bolts, you're gonna have them basically where they need to be at the time of putting this back under. Now, we had to take these out like 2 or 3 times to get the adjustment just right where we thought it needed to be. So, yeah, guys, like I said, it's there was some time involved. I'd say we probably had about 4 hours, not including breaking for lunch yesterday. We grilled some burgers and stuff. We just needed to kind of step back for a minute and take a break. But like I said, between putting the grips on and everything else, I'd say we probably had about 4.5 hours in this. And once again, riding home last night, absolutely amazing. Like I said, you can see they look really nice. And I cannot wait to take a longer trip now with these new bars, preferably a new seat as well, because I'm very curious to see how it does. So yeah, guys, that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video. It was, like I said, I more or less wanted to make this a review video at this point. Like I said, we got into changing out the bars yesterday and just never got around. I had too many irons and too many fires. I needed both hands and stuff like that to change out the bars. Like I said, I will post a link to when we changed out the bars the first time. Me and my brother did for the Indian Reduced Reach. Exact same process. You just gotta be careful with these bars. Now, when you're adjusting them, some guys might be like, well, I'd like to have the 2-inch pullback with the 2-inch, the 2 inches going up. Here's the only problem with that. You gotta be careful with these bars, because like I said, there's no actual, like, a lot of the mid-rise bars have like a bend that come up like this. These don't have it. They come straight out, and it's just as you adjust them up or down for how much pullback you want. Obviously, if you raise them up, the pullback goes in, whereas if you adjust them down, the pullback comes out. But you got to be careful with the fairing turning full lock. I am right there when I turn right at full lock. I mean, it's like the clutch cable is damn near touching the inner fairing. So the maneuverability, I mean, and once again, how often are you full lock? That is a completely different discussion. So I probably could have stood to adjust these down, maybe just a couple of centimeters just to get that clearance a little bit better. But where these are sitting right now is so perfect for where I want them at that I'm like, you know what? I will forego that itty bitty little bit of maneuvering at full lock for the bars to be where I want them at. And like I said, these bars, they are very nice quality. They're made of stainless steel. Like I said, I called KST Customs, and the guy I talked to, they were wonderful to explain what they think, the route they want to go, you know, what route they think you should go and everything else. And I have no complaints. The bars, like I said, they're made of stainless steel. All the holes were perfectly drilled and everything lined up perfectly. The only part that didn't really line up, I mean, it did line up. It just, the fly-by-wire on the right side there, we kind of had to tap that in place to get it to finally lock in, and it was fine after that. But, I mean, once again, though, these bars are very nice. Very nice. I highly recommend them. I will post a link to these bars on KST's website. And like I said, I think these were $340 free shipping. And that's the other thing too, guys. These bars got to me in 2 days. I think they're located down in Georgia, if I remember correctly. And I live up here in Ohio. I ordered these on a Tuesday. They were at my house by Thursday. So yeah, pre-wired, didn't have to deal with any of that. Ready to go. So I'm extremely happy. I highly recommend these bars. Once again, I'm very curious to go on a longer ride now with these new bars to see how that improves just the comfort factor of it. Obviously, a seat will help with that as well, just because, once again, the stock seat is fine for stock, but if you're going to be doing a lot of long riding, in my opinion, you might want a nicer seat. So I'm going to start probably with the Ultimate and see how that goes. If I don't like the Ultimate, I'll send that back, and I'm seriously considering a Russell Daylong. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, these bars, great. Love them. I highly recommend them. And like I said, I apologize. I didn't do an install video. Just got too crazy us getting it installed, and I didn't want to just do a half-ass video of like, oh yeah, we did this, this, and this, and this. I mean, if you guys are really curious, I could show you a video like that. But I more or less wanted to do a review of these after I actually rode the bike. I probably put like 30 miles on this bike yesterday with the new bars, and I'm already like, oh, so much nicer. So much nicer. Anyway, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody who's been subbing to the channel. I'm always bringing new videos to you guys whenever I figure out something in a video. We work on I work on the cars. I actually have a couple of car videos coming up soon that I haven't actually done a lot of car stuff lately. So I'm doing a couple of car videos soon. We got some more stuff on the Challenger coming up. My buddy Ryan's Victory Cross Country stuff with that. We're looking to work on some stuff there. The Chieftain, basically, whenever I think of a video, guys, I try to film it. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below in a comment. I try to get back to everybody in the comments that I can. And yeah, guys, until next video.